Hi everyone, this is Music as a Journey, and today I'm going to report a scam that I was a victim of very foolishly. I think I'm just going to tell the story partly to admit my own stupidity, but also if it helps anybody, then that's good. It's a really obvious one. After I told my wife about it, she immediately looked it up on the internet and found that it's a very common scam. And, in retrospect, I totally should have noticed it right from the beginning. But given the way things were going, I didn't. So anyway, here's what happened. This was yesterday. This was Monday. It was yesterday. I was at home. I had a lot of things I was doing on my computer, and one of the things I wanted to do was to find a card making template. I wanted to make a kind of card game to use for my work, my students. So anyway, I was looking for a free template, and I finally found one I could download for free, which I did. But then I found it was not exactly what I was looking for, and so I decided to uninstall it. And when I did, then I got these messages coming up saying that my computer was now infected with a virus. There was a message from Microsoft, there was some warning, and of course because I'm in Japan, my computer kept repeating this message in Japanese saying, don't turn off your computer, don't restart it, don't disconnect it. If you do, your computer is going to be locked, or something like this. It kept repeating. So I thought, like, are you kidding me? Is this seriously happening now? And it was 5:20 p.m. or so. I'd been using the computer a lot during the day, and I was actually getting pretty tired, especially since I'd been spending a long time trying to find a good template I could use, and I was having no luck in actually finding one I could use. So I think by this point I was just like, are you kidding me? Seriously? My wife was out of the house. She was very busy running lots of errands the day. Right, okay, the cat's out now. So anyway, yeah, the messages came up and all this, and I thought, well, I could just turn off my computer. But then I thought, like, you hear about those cases where someone's computer gets infected by a virus, and it gets locked, and they can't do anything, all their files are frozen, they can't touch anything. So I thought, well, I didn't want that because I can't afford to buy a new computer right now. I'm really, really tight for money and still trying to find extra work. So I thought, okay, I can't take a chance that this is, that I think it's not real and it turns out it is, and my computer's effed. So I thought, okay, there's a number on the screen for Microsoft tech support, I'll call it. So I called the number, and of course we're in Japan here, so the guy answers in Japanese, and I start speaking, but I'm not ready to change over from English to Japanese, so I'm having a bit of a hard time starting out. And he says to me, oh, you're not a person who can really speak Japanese so well, huh? And I said, well, anyway, I can manage. So he says, okay, what's wrong? And I tell him about what happened. I tried to uninstall the app, and these messages came up to say my computer was infected with a virus. He said, okay, so what I need you to do is to push the escape key first, and then after that, you should push the Windows key and the R key simultaneously. That will grant me access to your computer so that I can see what the problem is. Okay, well, sure, yeah. I mean, what do I know about computers? I'm basically Microsoft Word, anything after that, I have problems. So, all right. So I did that, and the cursor started moving around on its own. So, okay, he's got access to my computer now. And then he said, okay, first thing, we're going to turn the volume down on this repeating message because it's kind of noisy. And then he said, all right, so he opened up some windows, and then he showed, like, here's a list of stuff, everything that says CXCS something something, there was a whole list of it. He said, all of this is malware. And it showed all of it was installed in my computer 522, something like that. So I don't know, the clock was behind me. I didn't really pay attention to what time it was, but it seemed like, okay, that, yeah, right around the time the message came up, all that malware came in on my computer, I guess. Okay. So he said, so what I'm going to do is, he said, all this malware here, the hacker now has access to your computer. He can read your files. He can read whatever you're doing on the computer right now. So I said, okay, so what are we going to do about that then? What can you do? Then he started showing other things, like if you click anywhere over here, it's going to, like, give your computer direct access to the hacker, and he'll have control of your computer. So don't click on anything like that. I'm like, okay, what do I know, right? I'm not a computer technician. I'm not a computer expert. So anyway, I said, so what are we going to do then? So he said, well, what we can do is I'm going to remove all this malware. I'm going to do all of this right now. And it's going to take about 20 minutes. So just stand by the phone here. So I'm standing around waiting. And I think during this time, maybe my wife came home for a brief instant and then had to leave again. And I think she was actually picking up my daughter for something. But anyway, she kind of heard what was going on, but she was just in a hurry, so she left. So I sat there waiting a little bit, and then the guy came on, and then he said, okay, so what I need you to do now is, he said, I'm just doing all the work now, and all this is covered by Microsoft. The service is free. However, your computer security is out of date. You need to update it. Okay, that might be true because I don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff. Probably should, but anytime I have to pay for something, I just don't because I can't. So he says you have to update the security. And then he goes and tells me there is the 3-year plan, which is 30,000 yen. There's the 6-year plan, which is normally 49,900 yen, but right now we have a campaign going, so it's only 40,000 yen. Wow, well, 40,000 yen for 6 years, 30,000 for 3 years. Geez, the 6-year one looks good, doesn't it? But he said, and most people take the 6-year one. So I was just saying, look, I can't pay that kind of money right now. I simply can't. Like, our household situation is in dire straits. I mean, we're basically like a ship that is trying not to hit the rocks right now. Really trying not to hit the rocks right now. So he says, okay, just a moment. There's a bit of a pause. And then he says, okay, we can give you the 3-year at a discount rate of 20,000 yen, tax included. I said, okay, well, I mean, 20,000 yen still hurts, but you know, it's probably like, I don't know, like 170 US dollars or something like that. I don't know what the exchange rate is right now. But anyway, it's about a week's worth of grocery shopping for our family. So, I mean, that's a week's worth of food for our family that's being targeted right now, right? So anyway, what happened then? So I asked him, so how am I going to pay for this then? Are you going to send me a bill or are you going to pay by credit card? He said, no, you can't use a credit card right now because the security isn't set yet. So if you give your credit card number to me now, it can go straight to the hacker. Like, okay, well, all right. If you say so, what do I know? So then what? He said, well, if you use internet banking, we can do it that way. And I said, well, I don't use internet banking. I actually really prefer not to use the internet so much because I have a lot of problems using websites on the internet. Seriously. So anyway, he says, well, then the other way to pay is if you buy a Google Play card. Now, this actually should have really sent off alarm bells in my head. Actually, there were a couple of points along the way. One of them, I found out he's Indian. I could tell by the accent. And this is not to say that, you know, there are plenty of hardworking Indian people out there, honest, hardworking Indian people, but it is also known that a lot of the computer scams around here anyway are committed by Indian people. So that should have kind of been a warning, but I thought, anyway, he could be a technician. He knows his computer stuff, and it could be you call the Microsoft customer service thing and then he gets the call. I don't know how it works. I mean, that kind of thing happens, right? So maybe he's an honest to goodness technician doing his thing. But at the time he said, you know, you should buy a Google Play card, I probably should have thought about it because I received email once before saying you haven't paid for something, so please pay for it right away by buying an Amazon gift card. But the English was so bad in that email, I knew right away that's a hoax. It's a scam. And with email, it's very easy for me to tell because first of all, the English usually has some mistakes, or if you click on the email address, you'll see some like thing with a whole string of characters. There are always ways I can tell from email and short text messages. But anyway, this is an online thing. This is from the telephone, and he's saying pay with a Google Play card. I don't use Google Play. I haven't bought an iTunes card or an Amazon card for ages. So I don't know, right? I don't know how the thing works. So he says you have to go buy one now. As I said, my wife and daughter had gone out. I was in the house. My son was in the house too. And in a little bit lower voice, my son is kind of on the autistic spectrum. So, I mean, I can't easily just run out of the house and leave him home alone for a long time. And it's about a 10-minute walk to 7-Eleven. So I told the guy I can't leave the house right now. But he said, well, if you don't pay for that service right now, I can't finish the work. Like, okay, but like I really can't leave the house right now. I said, I might not be able to leave the house for another half hour or so. And he said, well, anyway, I need you to pay for that right now, otherwise I can't do this. All right, so I go upstairs, I tell my son, look, I have this problem with the computer, I have to run to 7-Eleven and buy a card to pay for the service. And he said, okay, I'll wait. All right, fine, that's cool. He's really good like that. So anyway, I jog to 7-Eleven. I guess I must have had adrenaline because I was able to do it. And I go to buy the card with the credit card, and then they say, oh, you have to pay in cash only. So I'm thinking, oh crap, I don't have cash in my wallet. I'm not sure if I have cash in my bank account because my credit card payment was just made that morning. So there's probably not enough money in there even, which would actually have been a good thing. However, I went to the ATM and checked, and as it turned out, I did have money in my account because I did some work for a friend of mine checking his English, and he paid me. So, thanks to him paying me right away, I had money in my account, so I could withdraw the money. Ironically, or coincidentally, whatever, the amount I had to withdraw was just almost the same as what he had paid me. Wow, huh? So anyway, I withdrew the money, and I went over and I bought the card and ran on home again. So then I told the guy on the phone there, okay, I've got the card now. So he said, yeah, enter the number, which I did. However, my eyes are really not working so well these days, and I had a hard time reading the numbers. Like, is that a 5? Is that an 8? Is that an S? I'm not sure. Is that N? Is that W? And at the very end, I typed a 4, and after I typed it, I realized that last digit is not a 4, it's actually an H. So a few seconds had passed, there was silence on the phone at this time, and so I changed it to H. Then the guy comes on, he says, okay, I've basically finished deleting all the malware from your system, but we have a small problem here. The card number that you gave me was incorrect. He said, here's the number you entered, and he showed the number I entered with the 4, not the H. He said, somewhere in here is a character that's wrong, so please check it and enter it again. So I checked it, and I found, oh yeah, that's the H, but I changed that. Why did it get changed back to a 4? I don't know. So I entered it again with the H. And then he said, anyway, we can't use this card now. The card has been blocked. Or rather, the card has been locked. This card is unusable right now. So he said, we'll send you a refund. I was like, what? Yeah, we'll send you a refund. I'm like, why would you send me a refund? I mean, I'm thinking, I haven't actually sent you guys any money yet, but you're sending me a refund. That doesn't make any sense. So I said, how are you sending the refund? Oh, we're sending it by cash. Please give me your address. I thought, okay, so Microsoft is going to send me cash as a refund for something that I wasn't able to pay for. Okay, this is really strange. But anyway, all right, here's my address. Which, of course, I shouldn't have done that, but what do I know, right? I'm stupid. So anyway, and then he says, okay, so I still need you to pay for that stuff, so please go and buy another card. And I'm like, no. Like, I don't have the money. He said, I need you to buy another card now, so please go buy another card now. Now, at this point, like, I'm really getting fed up with this guy because there were a number of times during our conversation at this point where I would ask things and I would get no answer, like he's not even there, or he would respond by just repeating something he said before, and many times he just didn't listen to what I was saying. He didn't respond correctly to what I was saying. When I told him one thing, I didn't get the answer you would normally expect. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, who's the person here who doesn't use Japanese very well? Is it me or is it you, dude? Because by this point, I'm in Japanese mode and I'm doing okay. I mean, it's not perfect grammar, but I'm doing okay. And he's not responding to what I'm saying sometimes. So I said, listen to me, I had 24,000 yen in the account. I took out 20,000. I have only 4,000 left. I don't have enough money to pay. So there was kind of silence. And at this point, I think my wife and daughter were coming home. So I moved the computer upstairs, up to this room here. And then there was a bit of silence. And he said, okay, unplug your computer and plug it in again. All right, did that. Okay, restart your computer. Yeah, all right, did that. All right, unplug your computer, plug it in again. Okay. Then I waited for a bit and there was silence. And I guess I forgot to mention, but during the time I was connected with him, he added a Log Me In Rescue app to my computer. He did that, not me. and there was like a little chat window where apparently we could communicate. So he was telling me some things in there, like showing me like visually with typing, but mostly he was showing me on the screen or telling me verbally. So anyway, where are we at now? I was waiting by the phone for a little bit, and I thought, am I waiting for something? And there was silence on the other end of the phone for a little bit, and I saw that chat log me in thing said that the technician was disconnected, so please wait for the technician to connect. I was waiting, and then I finally said on the phone, like, are we waiting for something? And there was just silence. I said, hello, is anybody there? And that's when I realized, oh, the phone call was disconnected. He was not there anymore. And the app also said he was disconnected. So I closed down the app and I removed it from the computer. I uninstalled it again. And then I thought, well, what the hell was that? I mean, what the hell just happened? So my wife said, okay, what's going on? So I told her, and almost from the start, she immediately jumped on me and said, that is a scam. You didn't pay anything, did you? And I said, well, I was going to try to pay with a card, but the guy said I wasn't able to. I'd done something wrong. She said, that is a scam. Why didn't you notice that? And immediately she called up on her phone the page for Microsoft Japan, showing in Japanese, of course, explaining everything how that scam works, which was exactly what happened to me. It was like, yeah, now that I'm kind of out of it, out of that situation, and I'm hearing this and I'm thinking about it, man, yes, that is totally obvious that it was a scam. I mean, she said, before you even called the number, you had your phone. You should have looked it up at that time. Yeah, but of course, I don't know if somebody has access to my computer every time that, every moment that passes that I'm doing other things, that person might be getting stuff from my computer. If I shut it off and it doesn't turn on again, I'm in trouble. So I said, like I've never had that kind of scam before. In all the years I've been using computers, that's never happened to me before. And so she's, really upset with me because I was so stupid and didn't notice any of the warning signs, And when I mentioned the guy was Indian, she's just like looked at me like, hello, isn't that a big warning sign? A lot of these scams are committed by Indians, so you should know. Hi, cat. Let's see if I can wrap this up here then. As a little bit more, just to let the cat in. So anyway, after, hearing about what an idiot I was, then I thought, okay, well, let me connect to the real Microsoft and see if I can at least report what happened. So I went to I did on the Mac. I have a Mac computer. I did it on there. I tried to report. Stupid thing is, on the Mac computer, whenever you select yes or no for an answer, if I select like question number 1, yes. When I go to question number 2 and select yes or no, question number 1 got deleted, and I didn't know that. So I went ahead and clicked all these yes and no things, wrote a long description, clicked send, and then it said I didn't fill in all of the required fields, and all the yes-no answers were empty. That wasn't working. So then I got really upset, and I thought, now I got to contact Microsoft and find another way to report this. And after about 10-15 minutes of hunting around and seeing the same page in English and Japanese over and over again, I finally was able to find how to connect to them with chat. So very soon, the chat box opened. Whatever I'd clicked or whatever, somebody came on and we started a dialogue. And I explained roughly what happened, and she said, okay, I need to get into your computer and I need to check it. And I said, I'm on the Mac right now, so okay, had to open the PC and save the link, send the link to myself by email, open it up in the PC, and continue. But anyway, she was really, professional about it. First of all, it was just a chat box, so not telephone. But she said, this is what I need to do, so I need to go into your computer and I need to check if there's any malware or anything has been done. I need to check if your defenders are working. If you have anything open on your screen right now, close down everything, any sensitive stuff, close it down, so keep only this chat box open. All right, well, that sounded pretty professional. Then she said, at any time, if you feel uncomfortable with what I'm doing, just push X and I will be, disconnected from your computer. So, okay, well, that sounds cool. That's fine. So anyway, she went in and she checked around, and then she said, okay, there's no malware on your computer. Your defenders are up and working, so he wasn't able to take anything from you. So the way it was sounding was like, I don't know if there was any malware on my computer, or if it was just some kind of like fake stuff that came in to just look like malware, and what the hell do I know? Or he was just showing me a screen, from his own computer and just sharing it, saying, look, this is malware on your computer. I really don't know. But it seems like if he really wasn't able to get anything from me, then maybe the whole point of the scam was to get me to buy, hopefully, a 40,000 yen, 40,000 yen worth of Google Play points to give to him. But anyway, it ended up being only 20,000, which I guess is good that I don't have much money, because I didn't end up spending more than as much as he wanted me to. But anyway, apparently, according to that person, my computer was all fine. There was nothing to worry about. And I was able, from the PC, to fill out the scam report form properly, clicking all the yeses and nos, and the answers didn't disappear. There were actually even more questions than the one on the Mac, for some reason. I guess operating, I don't know. I was using Google Chrome versus Safari, I guess. Something like that. But anyway, whatever. So that all happened. And then I reported that. I got the computer checked out. And then I thought, what about this Google Play card? This guy said that he wasn't able to use it. It's been locked now. I paid for the card. So what can I do about it? So I go and I start checking about Google Play. And I find out they say, like, Google Play, you're often asked to buy a Google Play card for scams. Please understand that Google Play can only be used to pay for Google Play products or something about YouTube. You cannot use Google Play to pay for anything else. So there you go. You cannot use a Google Play card to pay Microsoft to install security software in your computer. Right? In fact, when I looked closely at the fine print on the back of the Google Play card, it exactly says that. And if you're being asked to use this for anything else, please check this scam, Play card scam URL. And so I went to that URL, and there was a big explanation, like, this is what scammers will do, this is what they'll ask you for, and it's like, yeah, like, why didn't I just clue into that? Because I know that, I actually do know that, but I was stupid enough to not know it at the time, right? I don't know, reason suddenly leaves your brain when you're in a panic sometimes, I guess. And I was tired. But anyway, so apparently there's no refund available, and then I went to the police tonight because they said you should report this to the police. So on my way home, I walked past the police station. I went in and told everything that happened. There's not really much they can do. I gave the phone number to the guy, but they said these people, they change the phone numbers all the time. They said the best thing is that just, you told us, and we have this on record now, so we can hopefully, warn other people of this kind of thing in the future. But it seems it's already on the Microsoft page. It's already a well-known scam. The one thing I think is, like, if I want to, like, for example, pay for an Amazon order using an ATM, or I want to charge something, use an ATM, or use some kind of, machine for paying for something, there's always a scam warning page that comes up. Like, make sure you know what you're paying for, you're not paying for any scammers, right? But when I went to 7-Eleven to buy that Google Play card, I bought it straight over the counter from the clerk. So there's no warning. There's nothing like the clerk will say, like, that's a 20,000 yen value, so make sure you're not using it for any scammers or something like that, right? Like, make sure you're not being scammed. There's no warning like that. And I don't really know how much the store clerk can say, because maybe it's none of their business why you're buying a Google Play card, right? Who knows? But yeah, and if there may actually have been a sign over the Google Play cards also warning it, but I just went in looking for the 20,000 yen card, so I didn't look. Anyway, so yeah, I did my bit. I reported it to Microsoft, I reported it to the police, and apparently Google Play is managed through some credit company in Malaysia, in Japan, and very strictly no refunds, no returns, nothing. So I paid the 20,000 yen to a week's worth of groceries, and there's probably no way I can get it back again. And then I thought, like, if the card didn't work for this guy, the scammer, could I try to apply the code to my Google account? But then, when I was talking to the police about it, I thought, that's really funny. If I give him the wrong code, how would that end up locking the card? If he has the wrong code, it just doesn't work. The wrong code doesn't tell what the correct card is. So when I filled in the number the second time with the correct number, probably he just got the correct one at that time, and then told me I had to go buy another card, and then told me I was getting a refund to make me feel better about it. Anyway, I didn't buy another card. He was trying to get that 40,000 out of me. But he got 20,000. I'm 20,000 yen poorer. The 6.5 hours work I did for my friend went to pay for a scammer. I am that much wiser now. And I feel I've done all I can about it anyway to report it. Probably he's going to go on doing this scamming anyway. The police said it's very difficult to catch these kind of people. But I've done what I can. And now I'm making this video here to tell you guys about it. Most of you are probably going, like right from the beginning of the video, like, oh, you should have noticed, why did you, you're a fool. Yeah, okay, I'm a fool, I'm stupid. But anyway, it's not going to happen again. Right, if this helps anybody, great. And if you, tuned out partway through, whatever, that's fine. I'll come back with a proper music video soon. I've got one in the works, I promise. Okay, everybody, thanks. Take care, stay safe, watch out for internet scams. See you next time.